What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Awesome Show. Today we're looking at the NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crossover with the Universal Monsters. So we have two figures here. We were waiting to get all four of the first wave, but unfortunately we're still missing one, so we decided just to take two to get them out in time for Halloween. So we have Raphael here as Frankenstein's monster and Michelangelo as the mummy. So both of these look cool. We'll go and spin the boxes around here so you can see the box designs. I think they look awesome, almost like a VHS sort of box style design. Not exactly, but that's just what it reminds me of. So of course with Frankenstein's monster and the mummy. Then we have looks on the back, and I love the whole, like, this reminds me of like the pop comics, like, or horror magazine sort of design. So we have the mummy and then pictures of Mikey there with all sorts of stuff showing like his different accessories and all sorts of cool things there, as well as for Frankenstein. So that looks really cool. And there's the side of the box showing all four. So we're still missing that Leonardo, unfortunately. So that's the one we're waiting on. But we'll go in and open up this one. So there's, of course, the picture of him and then the figure itself. So it looks pretty cool. Of course, hard to see with all the plastic and stuff, but we'll see him out of the box. Looks awesome. So it's like a Frankenstein just with the turtle design of Raphael. Has some cool size and everything. So he looks really cool. And then we'll look at the mummy as well. So Michelangelo as the mummy. So there's his picture and then him himself and a lot of cool accessories going on there. So that just looks really cool. So it's just the turtle all wrapped up in the mummy outfit. So very cool looking. I'm excited to check both of these out. Like I said, just in time for Halloween. So let me get them out of the box and we'll take a look at them together. So we're going to start off with Raphael as Frankenstein's monster. So of course this is the team up of the NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with the Universal Monsters. So NECA has the rights and stuff to do both figures, so they've combined both of them together. So we have Raphael here as Frankenstein's monster. So overall he looks pretty cool. So it is Raphael, so he's got the turtle body. So you see he's got the turtle shell, the all green skin and everything. So he's got the green arms, green face, and can't really see green anywhere else, but still has the turtle design. So it's the two-toe designs, has the knee and elbow guard still, and like I said, the turtle shell underneath, and then just overall the turtle design of the green skin, which matches up pretty well with Frankenstein because he's usually sort of pictured with green skin, so that kind of works out. But he still has the red bandana around his eyes, so it's hard to see his eyes in there with the lighting, but you can see his eyes there, and then the other one's more closed, it looks like, but still cool with that reddish color. It's more of like a really dark or maroon color at this point, but it's still supposed to be the red band around his eyes. Has the Frankenstein head, though. There's the big tall head with the flat top design with the hair and like all the staples and stuff to hold the head together where they replace the brain. And that's one thing with this design, they have the staples all around it. So there you can see around the bandana, around the top there, all around the neck. So all the little cuts and stuff that he has throughout him, all stitched up or stapled up there around the neck, there around his arms and stuff as well, with some additional like metal attachments like there on the shell, like maybe a shell was coming apart. So Frankenstein used some metal to hold him together there. The bolts out the side of his neck, of course, with one still having the attachment piece coming around to the back where it has this little like monitor gauge here and stuff. So there's that one there, as well as the one on his chest and around on his shell again. It's like he's got some holes and stuff. So he took a sewer grate and attached on there. So that looks pretty cool. For the turtles, taking a piece of a sewer grate to fill in the chunk of shell that's missing. Nice big attachment piece of metal here on the back. So attach the chain. So it has these metal chains, which they do feel like they're metal. They could be plastic, but you know, they're real like cheap metal. Now they do just sort of sit on him, and like he has these metal pieces on the front of him here that they just sort of sit on. But if you sort of move them a certain way, they kind of fall below just like that. So you have to try and get them to work back up there. I don't really know what they're for, and they just kind of get in the way, but it's nice little just like chain features hanging off of him. And then he's got the body, you know, more like Frankenstein. So he's got the what's supposed to be like the black suit on, but it's more of like darker gray color, nice like texture into it and everything, with some patches. So it's got some red patches, of course, those elbow pads as I mentioned, and the sleeves come down, same sort of thing with the pants. So it's like the grayish color pants with the knee pads that are all stitched together as well. So like they had holes and stuff, and then the big clunky black boots with the like bolt designs there on his feet as well. So overall it's a really cool design. You know, carries a lot of the look of Frankenstein but mixed in with a turtle. So I think overall it looks pretty cool. So for his movements, we get this head that can twist around, so it should be able to twist all the way around. I just don't know with the stiffness of the NECA figures and stuff, if it's just not twisting too well. I can get at least that back and forth there, and then it can look down that far and up that far. So not the best movements ever, but it has movements there. And then it also looks like the neck can twist around a little bit as well. But then we get the shoulders that can come up at least that far, so under 90, but can come up a little bit there, and of course can rotate all the way around. We get the elbow joints, so we have the joint at the top and the lower section, so just like our past turtle figures. So it can bend up at least that far, about 90 degrees, because the elbow pad's in the way, so you don't get the best movements in there. But there's twisting at the top section and the lower section as well. Then we get the wrist that can twist around and flex back and forth. Of course, they're NECA figures, so they have some stiffness that can flex back and forth there. No real ab crunch or anything, like doesn't really feel like there's maybe some movement at the waist up in there. You can see like some twisting around there, but of course overall just with the big design doesn't really get too much movements. But the legs can come up pretty close close to 90 there and out to the side, not too far from the splits. Have a thigh twist up in there as well. The double knee joint, that again, I assume we're not going to be able to bend too far back because of the thickness of the pad, so it can only go about that far. And then we get the foot that flexes back and forth and can twist side to side. So he doesn't have the best movements ever, but it is also the monster, so he's big, clunky and stuff, and doesn't really move around too much. Just sort of moves around with his hands up, sort of like chasing after people, but it still looks pretty cool. I like this design, the combination of the Ninja Turtles with the Universal monster, so I really like that a lot. Now he does come with some accessories, so we get some additional hands. So of course he has just the open hands, but we get a set of fist hands, so if we want to have some fist, of course, with the turtle skin, with the stitches and staples and stuff there. We also get a set of hands that can hold some weapons, so we get some grip hands, and for those grip hands we get the shocking size as the box had them. So they're the size, but the middle section has the lightning bolt. It's supposed to be designs, you know, where the lightning strikes to bring Frankenstein to life. So pretty cool with that design overall. It'd be cool to switch his hands. I don't know how easy these will be able to get into his grip hands, but let's see if I can do it. So it was pretty difficult to get those size into his hands, but I did get them in there. So that looks pretty cool. Now just having this big monster running around with weapons now is, I guess, pretty crazy and dangerous, but I think they look really cool there in his hands with that design and stuff that fits along with the Frankenstein's monster. So overall, pretty cool design there for the Raphael. Of course, it's not like the best thing ever, you know, it's just a turtle dressed up like a monster, but I still think it looks pretty cool with the design. I just wish like the green popped a little bit more and was a little bit more cartoonish and funny and stuff, and like the colors were a bit brighter, but overall I think it still looks pretty cool. And then we also have Michelangelo as the mummy, so he looks pretty cool here. Again, we see more of the turtle form to him with his head, but I like how he looks like so old and creepy with like all the wrinkles and stuff, especially like there on his forehead. Still has the Michelangelo orange band there around his head, even some like all sorts of like bumps and everything there around. Looks pretty creepy with his teeth sort of showing there, but again, all the lines and stuff showing like the old age. I like how he has one eye open and it's kind of like looking up, and then the other eye is closed, so that's pretty neat. And then he's got the green skin of the turtle all showing through there through the bandage wrapping, so he's got the mummy bandages all wrapped around him, going around there to the back like that shape. It's cool there about his shelf, got all the hieroglyphic designs and stuff. There's of course a turtle and all sorts of beetles and stuff all around there, even around on his belt, going around to the front where he's got the scarab there in the center of it, which is pretty cool. Again, more hieroglyphic designs there, and just overall looks cool. Of course, like Raphael, he's got the same sort of elbow pads and knee pad designs there, so still has those carrying over from the turtles. Of course, his hands there with the turtle fingers sticking out, and then just the legs all the way down to the feet with the two toes and it's bandage wrapped. It's just all the way up him. So he looks pretty cool here. I like this a little bit more because like opposite of the Frankenstein, his skin's more brighter, the orange is more brighter and stuff. So I don't know if they made some change with this. We do get more accessories as well, where the Raphael, you know, kind of didn't have many accessories. He does have more, but it could just been the overall size difference and stuff. But overall, I think he looks cool. So for his movements, get the head that can twist around, can probably get the twist, yeah, all the way around there. His tails are sort of in the way there, and look down that far and up that far. So a little bit better movements. Again, has the same sort of neck joint, so you get better movements all around in there. The shoulders can come up to 90 and rotate all the way around. We have the elbow joints at the top and bottom again, so it can bend up about that far, so about 90 still, just because of those elbow pads. And again, there is twisting, so twist at the top and bottom of that. And then we get the wrist that twist around and flex back and forth. Again, no real ab crunch or anything up there, maybe some twisting at the waist, but he doesn't really move much at all. But the hips can come up to 90 if you go out to the side there some, and then out to the side that far, thigh twist up in there. The double knee joint that can bend that far to the back, and then there is some twisting at the top of it as well. And then the foot flexes back and forth and can twist side to side. So pretty much the exact same movements. You know, he has a little bit more movements just because his overall size isn't as big, so he doesn't have as many limitations, but overall they have pretty much the exact same joints, sort of layouts and stuff, but still a pretty good figure. Now he comes with a number of accessories. Like I said, he comes with more, but like I said, that may be a difference with the sizes and stuff. But first we get an additional head. So they have a head with a big creepy smile, both eyes are open, he's got like holes and stuff in it. So I'd want to switch this out just to see what it looks like, but I don't know how hard it'll be, but let me see if I can do it. So there's that head, and that looks even creepier. It kind of fits for Michelangelo, but such a creepy head design there, but I really like that design. We also get some additional hands. So again, he has the hands out to do like, you know, chasing after someone. So we get a set of fist hands, so if you want him to have those, or we get the set of grip hands so we can use them for his weapon. So we'll probably be switching out to these. We get some additional wrapping. So we just have like additional like wrapping pieces here. I don't really know what they're for, if you just want to take and sort of wrapping around maybe his hands or whatever, just so they can have some extra wrapping sort of floating floating off of him there, sort of like he's falling apart. We then also get his weapon of the Ankh nunchuck. So he has the nunchucks, but of course with the Ankh design, so the Ankh logo's there, which is pretty cool with the chain and stuff. So let's see if we can try and put these into his hands. So there I did get the nunchucks in his hands. Of course, they just sort of dangle there, but he can look more like the mummy in the way his head is there. It looks really creepy. So I think that's pretty cool. And that's his head just kind of did that on its own, but I think it looks pretty fun. And the final accessory comes with is a cobra. So he has this like rubber cobra with a metal wire in it, so you can sort of bend it around. So I got it bent like this with the cobra head there all up and stuff. So pretty fun. It comes with that as well. So you can just sort of sit that to the side there. So I think that's pretty cool. I think this overall Michelangelo is definitely better than the Frankenstein, but both are really cool and I like them both a lot. Well, there we have our two NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Universal Monster crossover figures with Raphael as Frankenstein's monster and Michelangelo as the mummy. So both of those look really cool. Like I said, I was hoping to have all four of the first wave, but we're still missing that Leonardo as the Hunchback. So we just decided to do these two just to get them out in time for Halloween. So both figures are pretty cool. Like I said, they're not like the greatest figures ever or anything, but I do really like them a lot because I'm a fan of the Universal Monsters and then of course Ninja Turtles. So having them cross over together is pretty fun. And I think they carried off the designs really well. They did put a lot of work into these, so it didn't really just take a turtle and wrap it in wrappings or something for the mummy. You know, they put a lot of details into it. So overall, I do really like these figures a lot. They did a really good job on them. But let me know what you thought of these figures down in the comments, and if you enjoyed my review, let me know with a thumbs up. But I want to thank y'all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.